and the BBC. She has been an advocate for moderation in Islam. She previously was a professor in the practice of journalism at Georgetown University. Ms. Nomani, you are recognized for 5 minutes.
Thank you so much. Thank you to all the distinguished lawmakers that are here today. Just across the Potomac River on Sunday, I stood with a group of parents on a back deck, and we were celebrating our triumph against racism, against systemic racism. But it wasn't against a white supremacist organization that we had won. We had defeated racism by the 12 school board members in Fairfax County Public Schools, all endorsed, alas, by the Democratic Party. My testimony is a warning cry about a new racism that is occurring in the United States today. It is targeting South Asians, Muslims, and Arabs, along with many other people. So many people are now being impacted by a divisive ideology that is in our schools also. It replaces the old hierarchy of human value with a new hierarchy of human value. Neither is acceptable. And federal authorities, state and local authorities are subjecting us to surveillance, harassment, and criminal prosecution when we as parents stand up to this new racism. Born in India and raised in West Virginia, I moved to Northern Virginia in 2008 because I thought that the state had now voted for President Obama and it was now progressive enough for a minority like myself. I moved there as a single mother with my son just 5 years old. And in Virginia, he grew up. In 2017, my son learned that he had gained admission to Thomas Jefferson High School for Science and Technology. It was the realization of the American dream for us. But then, on June 7th, 2020, we received an email from the white principal at the school. And she told us, the mostly Asian, mostly immigrant parents and students at the school, that we needed to check our privileges. She told us that we had to change admission to Thomas Jefferson High School because she wanted a different type of minority. Of course, we want all students to succeed, of course. But all of a sudden, our parents were on the wrong side of brown. And let me share with you some of the names from our student directory. They are names of the types of people that this hearing is concerned about. Last names like Singh, Patel, Abdul, Malik, and then my name, Nomani. What are our privileges? Suparna Datta, a mother, came here with dollars in her pocket to study in Tennessee. Yu Yanzhou, she stood in Tiananmen Square for human rights. And then when she read this email from the principal, she had traumatic flashbacks to that moment when she was a child and her teacher made her stand up and take off the red scarf that she had received as a symbol of her privilege in the Communist Party. School board members, activists, policymakers started calling us slurs like white adjacent, resource hoarders, toxic, racist. I had never before in my decades of life in the United States experienced so much aggression and hostility against us. And in one text, a school board member said, "We know that this policy is anti-Asian, LOL, laughing out loud. We all know in this hearing that racism is not a laughing matter. But guess what? Our brave parents came together and we created an organization called Coalition for TJ. And we went to court with the lawyers of Pacific Legal Foundation who fight for civil rights. And guess what? Just this Friday afternoon, we got an email. We won. We won in protecting our families from the racism that is now being perpetuated in our school system. This is a significant victory. This is huge. This is what is a national security issue today as we compete against China. But how did this happen? How did we go from this ideology of critical race theory that says that we must look at all of society through the lens of race, and then become this, how to be an anti-racist, in which this ideologue says that we can only, can you imagine this? Correct past discrimination by present discrimination. What kind of a country is this? That is not the kind of country that my father came to. Critical race theory and education. That's why we have this at TJ. And then they are reaching for our little babies. Woke baby, anti-racist baby. What are these concepts? These are concepts for racism.
Ms. Nomani, your time has expired.
Thank you. We, the families, we are parents, mama bears and papa bears. We do not want to be called domestic terrorists when we are protecting our baby cubs. We must all stand together for our country. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you for your testimony. The witnesses will be reminded that